Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The voting is over and projections are beginning, and just as we are getting across on who you're putting your money on, it's me, Navika Kumar, joining you on this very special exit poll broadcast, and joining me is Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan, my colleague. And Madhav, who are you putting your money on?
Well, Navika, I think we are not allowed to technically say that before the 6:30 deadline, but we can certainly tell our viewers what the Satta Bazaar is saying. And in the next few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be giving you the numbers as they are coming out as far as the people's mandate is concerned. Voting just concluding in the states of Maharashtra and Jharkhand, and in just 30 minutes from now, we'll be putting out the first numbers of the exit poll projections brought to you by the JVC exit poll as well. You're going to have to wait just 30 more minutes for us to get you those numbers.
But we don't have to wait to know what the Satta Bazaar is saying, because those numbers are out in the public, and we've collected all Satta markets from across all states, and let's tell you who is saying what, who is projecting what, because that will give us a sense of which way these elections are going even before JVC gets into business. But before we go to those numbers, let me introduce to you the panel that we have this evening. With all the experts here, we have probably about 1,000 years of experience riding on. No? Oh, you're younger people? All right. Should I make it 100, 200? What are you saying? We are going to Satta Bazaar. यहाँ भी number लगाओ भाई, किसका क्या age है?
Satta Bazaar betting on cash or on bitcoins. That is the point.
Oh, okay. Currency, so important. But let me introduce to you today, our cephalogist is going to be JVC, who's done back of the envelope and some on-ground estimates, and we're going to come with his personal poll. JVC exit poll is what we are going to call it. Also joining me this evening, Smita Prakash, editor ANI. Everybody knows her. She's got all the big interviews. So Smita, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. And next to her, fountainhead of election experience,
This is
R. Rajagopalan.
the elections from 1971 I have been following.
108th election. How old are you? Can I ask your
73.
age? Okay, all right. With all that experience,
And with Navika Kumar, it is my 14th year.
fantastic. Yes, it's 19th year, sir. Your mathematics is all wrong. 19th year,
okay.
as old as times now. From day one, you've been with us. So, welcome to this broadcast. Also joining us is Anand Ranganathan. Well, everybody loves to love him and hate him. He's got the guru mantra of getting everybody excited, and we're looking forward to an excited analysis. Tehseen Poonawala, the socialist with the Patek Philippe watch, joining the broadcast. He will give us exactly what the poor want, what they think, but the Patek Philippe on his hand.
मेरा टाइम अच्छा चल रहा है तो आपको दुख क्यों हो रहा है? मेरा टाइम अच्छा चल रहा है.
नहीं, मैं सोशलिज्म की बात कर रही हूँ, आइडियोलॉजी की बात कर रही हूँ. हाँ, आजकल इलेक्शंस में आइडियोलॉजी कहीं फिट नहीं होती, ये मैं मानती हूँ. विवेक श्रीवास्तव, पॉलिटिकल एनालिस्ट, आल्सो सपोर्ट्स द लेफ्ट पार्टीज. वामपंथियों का क्या हाल है? एक है ना आपका अभी के महाराष्ट्र असेंबली में.
ये कैसे है?
एक है
तो oh my God, this takes the cake. This requires an applause. एक है तो safe.
Well, you are safe, Vivek Srivastava. The verdict comes from Rajagopalan ji, and right next to Vivek Srivastava, our fellow colleague in the field of journalism. She's seen many elections on the ground. Sabha Naqvi, joining us on this broadcast. But before we have anything to analyze, bitcoins and cash floating around apart. Let's go straight to Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan, who's going to take us through the Satta Bazaar numbers.
Well, Navika, essentially 3 Satta Bazaar numbers that we have, and let's quickly pull them up on screen. In fact, one after the other. And this is, of course, what's the Satta Bazaar projection. This is the Gujarat Satta Bazaar that we're talking about. UP bypoll numbers first, 6 to 7 seats for the BJP. As far as Jharkhand is concerned, the BJP and allies get 45 to 47 seats. The JMM and its alliance, of course, with the Congress and other parties, is at 32 to 34 seats. So the BJP alliance, the NDA leading there in Jharkhand, and of course a similar sort of situation being seen as far as Maharashtra is concerned, where the largest numbers are being given for the BJP plus 138 to 141 seats in Maharashtra. Now, this is the projection as far as the Satta Bazaar
Those
in Gujarat
numbers
is concerned.
clearly there, not giving a full majority to the BJP. 3 short of the majority there. In fact, 3 or 4 short of the majority.
138 for BJP plus, that means it's about 135 for Congress plus.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
280.
Yes.
But
So
there could
very
also be
neck
neck
and
and
neck.
neck.
Very
That's
neck
a
and neck.
Saban.
And yes, those are the predictions
Saban.
that you gave in the last hour. And look at Jharkhand, again very closely contested. In Jharkhand, BJP has a clear edge as of now as far as the Gujarat Satta Bazaar is concerned. So let's just look at this. Maharashtra extremely close. Jharkhand advantage BJP, UP bypolls advantage BJP. As far as the Gujarat Satta Bazaar is concerned, will the
let's quickly
story
bring up the
change?
next. Yes, will it change in the other Satta Bazaars is certainly a very big question. Close contest in Maharashtra indeed, but this is as far as the Falodi Satta Bazaar, of course, which is in Rajasthan. This is the numbers that they are projecting for the BJP in Jharkhand, 45 to 47, and in Maharashtra as well, 138 to 141 seats for the BJP. Again, a similar trend seen over here, and of course, let's also, in fact, look at the other Satta Bazaars also
So
that we're talking
again,
about.
same. Gujarat and Falodi Satta Bazaar are not risking much. 4 short of the halfway mark is the BJP. Very close is the Congress Mahavikas Aghadi alliance. In Jharkhand, the BJP has the edge, according to Falodi Satta Bazaar as well.
Yeah, and let's quickly bring in the third. I believe we have a third Satta Bazaar as well, and this is the Maharashtra Satta Bazaar. Now, this is where the most detailed information is being given over here, and in fact, the bigger question is, of course, on which is the single largest party over here, and this is of course an analysis that is being given as far as the single largest party is concerned. The bets are for the BJP. Remember that this is paise that we're talking about, not seats specifically, and therefore the odds on the single largest party being NCP Ajit Pawar faction is perhaps the least, followed by NCP, SP. We're then talking about Shiv Sena, UP, then Shiv Sena, and then the Congress. So these are
Look
not
at the
actual
neck and
numbers.
neck fight between the BJP and the Congress. 25 paise bet on the BJP for getting the single largest party, and Congress at 27 paise. Well, highly unlikely, but that's what.
As far as Congress is concerned, because Congress hasn't really fielded in as many as weren't you saying?
But Congress in Vidarbha has fielded a lot, so that's the area
102.
Yeah, 102 overall for the
versus
Congress.
145 of the BJP.
Which is why I've been saying
So
that the
are you
Congress
saying
made...
the strike rate of the Congress
Yes,
party is going to be that high?
and that's where Navika, the Congress has made a mistake in Maharashtra by giving so many seats to Sharad Pawarji and to Uddhav Thackeray. The Congress should have fought this more for themselves.
So Sabha Naqvi, do you agree that the Congress party is going to get such a high strike rate that despite only 102 seats, they are neck and neck as far as the odds are concerned with the BJP?
I didn't go to Vidarbha. I was in Mumbai and Pune and a bit into the countryside. But I was told by everybody who was traveling that Vidarbha, they're definitely the #1 party there. So I can just go by that. And I don't know. It's the most complicated, which is why I've given you a dead heat that him and Tehseen and I both say 135, 135. But I still believe that the party with the resources, with the government and the money, will form a government. Now you can take any
and the governor. So if it's 135, 135, the governor of Maharashtra will go to Gujarat for a couple of days. He will rest there till the independence comes.
Break them.
But
Need to go to
can I
Gujarat
deflect to
because the
Jharkhand?
single largest party, either the single largest party would be BJP, or coalition wise. What is the governor? Governor goes with the
No, but we
president.
have to see the
invite the
result.
single largest party.
All right, so let me get the other side of the
NCP
table. Do you see, Smita Prakash, that it is possible for the BJP and the Congress to be neck and neck, just given the fact the number of seats they are contesting?
I really doubt it that that they're going to be neck and neck. But I refrain from making any kind of predictions after what happened with the 2024 general elections
And the Haryana elections.
and the Haryana elections.
Similar Satta Bazaar and exit poll. Everything was wrong. Whether
That
it's the
kind
Satta
of
Bazaar or the exit poll.
I don't think for my complexion that much of egg on my face is good for it. So, but I would just say that it is such an unpredictable thing, such a khichdi. So going to Maharashtra, what everybody says, from the voter to the topmost politician that I spoke to, it's the unpredictability of who will go with who. I think everybody is talking in terms of kuch nahi pata. Everybody has a different goal. It's not as if all the Mahayuti elements are fighting for a Mahayuti only, or all the MVA elements are fighting for one goal. Everybody has splintered reasons that they are fighting the election. Somebody wants to defeat, just like the Uddhav and the Shiv Sena, the two Shiv Senas want to defeat each other. The two Pawar factions want to defeat each other to be important to the Mahayuti or the MVA. So I think it's a total mess. But I don't think they're running neck and neck at this stage, the BJP and the Congress. That's again.
Well, so Anand Ranganathan, the point here is this is the first time that there is a six-way fight, six large players. There are smaller players other than these six large players. And therefore, who's going to divide whose votes? There is no precedence, because the last time there was no formation of this kind.
They didn't exist, not formation. They didn't exist, some of the parties.
Yes. Shiv Sena was one entity, now there are two. NCP was one entity, now there are two. So there is absolutely nothing from the previous performance to go by. But to simplify things for our viewers, who's going to be ahead? What's your analysis? And who's going to be behind? First, in Maharashtra.
No doubt about it, the BJP holds sway in this splitsville, if I can call it. Every party is split. But if you were to listen to Tehseen off camera, he believes... off camera. He believes that Sharad Pawar might rejoin or join with Ajit Pawar if the winds are blowing in BJP's direction. So when you say that parties pre-poll, post-poll have come together for the Mahavikas Aghadi, all is not so cut and dry, Navika. I mean, of course, you won't have Uddhav Thackeray joining with Mr. Shinde, of course not. You won't have Congress joining with the BJP, of course not. Yes. But Sharad Pawar holds the sway.
But,
so Kingmaker...
But then why would the BJP come up with the Bitcoin charge on Supriya Sule if they wanted to keep their doors open for Sharad Pawar?
Because that doesn't work for... I think the way the NCP, Mr. Pawar's party functions is completely differently. I don't think this works for them. And I do agree that...
What works then?
I mean, I don't think they care about those charges. They can go wherever. So that I'm very clear about, despite the alliance. But let me make one point to what JV says. Why will the governor come into play? Let's assume, hypothetically, the MVA is the single largest formation, but BJP is the single largest party. What happens then? So what I'm saying is, you're right, Navika. There are so many other factors. There's the BVA that came up yesterday, who created this scene with Vinod Tavreji. There's MNS, there's the MIM, there's Prakash Ambedkar's party. Then there are Republicans, which are two parties, there are two RPIs. There's the Atavale faction, there's another RPI.
Don't forget the CPM.
वो एक है सेफ है हमारे साथ एक है तो सेफ है क्योंकि हमारे साथ नहीं क्योंकि हमारे साथ नहीं है
Sabha.
I think one of the important things to look at is which alliance has been able to make the rebels sit. According to my information, the BJP has been much more efficient. The MVA, which got into the game late, Uddhav and Congress had their arrangement where they dragged it on. I believe, again, that they have not been able to make the rebels sit. So then a little, what is the model of poll management is you splinter your opponent's vote. So, and I think the Bharatiya Janata Party, without a doubt, and Eknath Shinde, let's not leave him out, their ground game has been far superior. Now we have to see what the people...
So let me, we've got the experts in the studio to comment on this. We are also joined by Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, Krishna Hegde, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena Shinde faction, Anish Gawande, national spokesperson of the Sharad Pawar NCP, Kishore Tiwari ji, spokesperson of the Uddhav Thackeray group of Shiv Sena, Ghanshyam Tiwari, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and A.S. Deol, spokesperson of the JMM. First, since we are discussing Maharashtra, let me ask Tuhin Sinha. Tuhin Sinha, why is the BJP and the Congress party, or rather, why is the Mahayuti so desperate? What is at stake? Because this election seemed to be more edgy than even the Lok Sabha elections. Is it because, you know, the BJP didn't quite perform according to expectations in the Lok Sabha, so it has a point to prove about its winnability? Number two, is it also a lesson that they want to teach Uddhav Thackeray? Why is it so desperate? Because yesterday the Tavde sequence, then the Bitcoin allegations, all of them on the last day, even on the silent day of campaigning, so much action. What's the big deal about these elections that making everybody edgy?
Well, we are never desperate, but we are always very fierce competitors on the ground. And yes, I mean, you know, the setback that we received in the Lok Sabha elections has made us all the more determined to fight back and win. You know, if you look at the last few weeks of the campaign, the fault lines were very clear. Ours was a very layered campaign. Yes, there were slogans like "Ek hai to safe hai," which drove, you know, the ideological part of a campaign. But we equally focused on the $1 trillion economy, the massive Mumbai infrastructure creation that has happened. The Aghadi was obsessed with just one thing: Muslim reservation, the ulema, the All India Personal Muslim Law Board. And, you know, obviously, while the election was happening, we saw the Bitcoin scam, we saw the Himachal Bhavan, you know, being put to auction. All of these just give you one clear indication that you can't trust the Aghadi. They will wreak financial anarchy upon Maharashtra if they get to govern. So I think the fault lines are very clear. And I can tell you that it's going to be 160 plus seats. You know, I think all journalists and media houses always tend to play it safe. They always say it's a close contest. But if you've traveled on the ground, you will know that the difference has been very clear. It will be somewhere in the range of 160.
I don't know if you heard Tuhin Sinha. Journalists have stopped doing polls, and journalists have also stopped making any predictions. We have learnt our lessons. We have stopped making any predictions. एक बार मार खाते, रोज रोज मार खाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है. We learn our lesson in one time, but we are getting across to Milind Deora joining this broadcast. Thank you very much, Milind Deora. High stake battle in Worli, but many questions being asked about. Did the Mahayuti get extremely desperate towards the end? Because on the silent day when campaigning had ended, there were charges versus charges. Vinod Tavde in a cash, you know, kind of situation, Bitcoin allegations against Supriya Sule. What is it about this election that has made both sides so edgy for a victory?
Look, firstly, every allegation needs to be proved, and I would urge on either side that it's very easy to throw muck at a rival candidate or a rival party or a rival alliance, but it's important for everyone to allow the Election Commission of India to conduct a free and fair election. Let the investigating agencies conduct a free and fair election, and then the truth will be out before everyone. But was this a high stakes election? In a way, in many ways it was, yes. And I think the reason for that is that in 2019, the political disruption that happened in Maharashtra, which caught everyone by surprise when the Shiv Sena and Congress came together, an alliance of pure opportunism, that led to many disruptions, Navika, in Maharashtra. That's point number one. That needs to be settled, and I'm confident that will be settled on the 23rd of November. Point number two is that there are very clear differences in the vision between Alliance A and Alliance B in terms of how to take Mumbai and Maharashtra forward. And therefore, it's but natural that people who are opposed to development will vote a certain way. People who are for development will vote a certain way. And I really believe that beyond all the rhetoric of, the controversial statements that makes it to the media, I really believe that on the ground, at least in Mumbai, the debate was largely about development, largely about work that has been done in the last 2 years, the work that has been done in 2 years preceding that, what is the vision going forward, and to me that's a healthy sign. At least in Mumbai, the debate was very much about who built infrastructure.
Milind, I'm absolutely wanting to believe in you, but there are many senior journalists right here in the studio. Let me ask them. Smita, did you think that the rallies, the statements were about development, not so much about ek hai to safe hai, batenge to katenge?
Well, you know what happens in a rally is that they speak about 40 minutes. Nobody listens to the meat of it. One only picks on those parts which will make headlines. The other thing is that when actually it comes to the last lap of the elections, then these kind of statements, these kind of emotional statements, they are made because, who are the people who are the undecided voter. It's to grab their attention that these kind of statements are made. But yes, more than anything, I think the batenge to katenge, there's going to be some kind of reaction to that. Is it going to be positive for the BJP or is it going to react negatively? We are going to see after this election whether that slogan will continue.
So Milind, what do you think? Is it going to go in favor of the Mahayuti, these statements, or do you think pushing that agenda may have diminishing returns?
Yeah, well, as with great respect to the senior journalists you mentioned, I don't know who they are, but I'm sure they're very senior, very experienced. I think there's always been a big difference between what senior journalists perceive to be the reality on the ground in elections and what actually is the reality on the ground. And people make statements.
Political parties and political leaders also.
Statements sometimes they make emotion. Yes, there is a difference, but I'm saying, but with due respect, politicians certainly have their ear to the ground more than journalists do. But people make statements on either side, sometimes controversial statements. Sometimes
haven't all these slogans come from politicians?
I don't think that those statements ultimately, I don't know who's interrupting me, but ultimately the narrative, in my opinion, regardless of which side made what statement and which leader made which statement, I firmly believe the narrative was very much about development. And I still believe, like in an assembly election, mind you, more than a parliamentary election.
So what's your prediction? Milind, today is exit poll day. What is your internal survey telling you? Where is the Mahayuti going to land in terms of numbers?
Navika, so firstly, I would urge you to pull out my record. And for a politician, I've been very consistent in that I never make predictions. I never believe these numbers with respect. I never believe exit polls, whether they're in our favor, against us. It's very hard to make predictions. The truth is, Maharashtra has 6 major parties now. But I do believe that the narrative that worked for the opposition in the Lok Sabha election has been effectively countered by the Mahayuti in the last 4 to 5 months. A good set of schemes, the actual arrival and fruition of infrastructure projects that seemed like a promise before the Lok Sabha election were actually realized by the time the assembly elections came around. So I'm confident that the Mahayuti has made tremendous gains from the Lok Sabha election to now. And in that sense, I'm confident that we will win. And we've been able to bust the fake narrative that did exist to a large extent during the Lok Sabha elections.
Well,
Beyond
let's
that,
wait
I don't
and
really
watch.
get into the business of making predictions.
Okay, let's wait and watch. Exit polls, not many people believe in them, but we'll get some sense of the direction. But thank you very much, Milind Deora, for joining us on this broadcast. Even the Satta market, while it gives the edge to the Mahayuti, leaves it about 4 seats short of the majority mark. But Madhav,
we have some more details.
Satta Bazaar projections.
Some more details coming in. In fact, let's quickly look at some of the other projections coming in. This is again from the Maharashtra Satta Bazaar. Which party will have the best strike rate? Now, this is the question being asked here. BJP at 67%, Congress at 67 paise, I beg your pardon, Congress at 71, Shiv Sena at 54 paise, Shiv Sena UBT at 46, NCP at 82 paise. This is interesting. NCP SP only at 33 paise, but this is the NCP Ajit Pawar faction, which is at 82. Now, the prediction, of course, is that the Sena UBT is ahead of the Shiv Sena.
Can we check these numbers again?
I think yes. I think this is a swap here.
I think it's a swap. I think we mixed up the numbers. I think NCP Sharad Pawar faction is a higher strike rate. Can we check these numbers and come back?
And we've said that Ajit Pawar's NCP is to have the worst strike rate.
Yeah, so if the highest strike rate, the paisa will be less. No? So it's correct. It was right.
It's confusing.
Yeah. So essentially, that is really what is being spoken about in terms of which party will have the worst.
Sharad Pawar will have the highest strike rate, which was true even in the Lok Sabha. That's why the money on it is less. Yeah.
So that's essentially this particular graphic that we're talking about. I believe we have some more details of what's there in Maharashtra Satta Bazaar and the analysis of it. Can we quickly bring that up on screen in case we have those graphics ready? If I can request our producers to pull that up on screen as well. This is the other details in terms of who will get majority. BJP plus is at 45 paise, Congress plus is at 50 paise, and Hung Assembly is at 48 paise. So this is very, very interesting. Everything's open. It's up for grabs. It's a close fight being predicted between Mahayuti, slightly ahead at this point of time. A greater chance of a Hung Assembly than an MVA win is the prediction over here. It's a close fight that has been predicted. That's essentially what we can gather from these numbers. So at least as far as the Satta Bazaar in Maharashtra, the most detailed numbers that we've had so far amongst the 3 Satta Bazaar, they are predicting a very close fight with an edge to Mahayuti.
BJP most favored to get a majority, otherwise hung. Congress is even behind the hung Assembly. Congress plus, which means the Mahavikas Aghadi.
Can I do a Rahul Gandhi out here, if you don't mind? You see, Rahul Gandhi had a lovely play of words. Ek hai to safe hai, and safe was Tijori. I want to do a play of words imitating Rahul Gandhi, where he says, when batenge to katenge, baatenge to jeetenge. Baatenge means distributing. Freebies. So if you have you already used it?
Yes,
you already
with you on the show. Gandhi? With you on the show.
But your baatenge was something else. My baatenge is giving freebies. Your baatenge was actually real.
Okay.
My baatenge was Vinod Tavade ji was doing it.
Okay, but let me also get in. Kishore Tiwari ji. Kishore Tiwari ji, ये चुनाव इतना जरूरी क्यों है उद्धव ठाकरे गुट के लिए? क्या सिर्फ शिंदे सेना जो टूटकर चली गई और बीजेपी से बदला लेना है, या ये एक लड़ाई है जो कहते हैं एग्जिस्टेंशियल लड़ाई है उद्धव ठाकरे के लिए और उस पार्ट ऑफ शिवसेना के लिए?
देखिए नाविका जी, ये चुनाव बहुत ही ज्यादा एकदम ही बॉटम लाइन पे आकर लड़ा गया है. एकदम यहाँ पे घटनाएं हुई. वो अनिल देशमुख को पत्थरे मारे गए, तो विनोद तावड़े पैसे बांटते हुए पकड़े गए. चलिए ये सब छोड़िए. आपने मुझे पूछा था कि हमारे लिए तो अस्तित्व की लड़ाई कहना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि ऐसा बहुत कम होता है कि पार्टी के ऑलमोस्ट 80% एमएलए चले जाए, बाद में फिर बचे हुए एमपी चले जाए और सब लोग चले जाए और सब लोग कार्य पद्धति पे ही आवाज उठाए. और वो सबसे बड़ा आर्गुमेंट था कि हमने हिंदुत्व छोड़ दिया. तो अब हम पब्लिक में गए हैं, अगर हमने हिंदुत्व छोड़ा है तो लोग वोट नहीं देंगे. लेकिन मैं कहता हूं चुनाव यह लोकल इस पर फोकस हो गया था. बीजेपी अगर कपास उगाने,
लोग आपको हिंदुत्व की वजह से पसंद करते थे, अब लोकल इश्यूज पर पसंद करते हैं. कमाल है, वोटर ही बदल गया, पार्टी बदल गई, लोगों का सोच बदल गई, जज्बात बदल गए, आउटलुक बदल गया. बट अनीश गवांडे ऑफ द शरद पवार फैक्शन ऑफ द एनसीपी, Anish Gawande, stakes are so high. Many people are saying that hung assembly is possible more than the MVA winning completely. I mean, it's not exit poll saying this. This is really about Satta Bazaar saying this. Do you think Sharad Pawar can walk across to the Mahayuti if required?
You know, firstly, I'm very glad that the Satta Bazaar predictions have us with the highest strike rate again, because I think that's what we did in the Lok Sabha, and I'm glad the Satta Bazaar is reaffirming faith in us now. As for the question, are we going to walk to the other side? We would have done it by now. We don't need to do it after the elections. If we have to do it, we would have done it earlier. And I think this is a turnout game. The turnouts haven't been as high as we thought they would. This has been about who can get voters to the polling booth, and I'm confident that the Mahavikas Aghadi has been able to get voters to the polling booth far better than the Mahayuti. So I wouldn't trust any numbers, and I'm not a betting man, so I'm not going to make any predictions as to how the results will turn out. But I'm fairly certain that the Mahavikas Aghadi will have a decisive mandate come 23rd November.
But there's an update coming in, Navika, very quickly. This is as far as the turnout is concerned. The Jharkhand has got 67.59% polling in the 38 assembly constituencies till 5 p.m. already surpassing the 67.04% voting in 2019. Maharashtra with 58.22% polling as of 5 p.m. is likely to cross 2019 figures as voting is still underway in the state. Now, this is very interesting. If there is actually a higher turnout, voter apathy is seen, of course, in Mumbai, Kolaba, South Mumbai, etc. But is this really going to impact as far as the state of Maharashtra is concerned? And let's bring in Varun Singh on that. Varun Singh, if there is a higher turnout, of course, it's very hard to predict when it's a six-way fight. But what is likely to be the outcome?
So, you know, it is actually disappointing if you, the numbers that have come now of 5 p.m. about 58% in Maharashtra, and how Mumbai actually in the morning it looked like people are getting out. The polling booths were crowded, but now when you see the numbers, but again, the last figures are yet to come. I'm expecting that it will cross last year's elections turnout, which was around 61%.
I'm going to have to interrupt you, Varun Singh. We'll come back to you, but the first exit poll numbers are coming up on your screen, and that is the JVC exit poll. Well, we'll begin with Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh, where nine bypolls were taking place. Well, that's the score there. 9 seats in the bypoll. BJP and alliance partners, that is the RLD, getting 6. Samajwadi Party 3, others getting 0. It's a straight head-on-head fight. 5 to the BJP and 1 to the RLD, JVC.
One to RLD, and there is one seat which is very close fight. But BJP is taking an edge, and BSP is non-existent.
So you're saying about 5 to 6.
Okay,
exactly.
This is the breakup. This is the breakup that we're looking at. Ghaziabad, BJP leading. Mirapur, where RLD is leading. Karhal is where Samajwadi Party is leading. Kateri is where BJP is leading. In Phulpur, again, BJP leads. Khair, also the BJP leads over here. In Kundarki, the Samajwadi Party is leading. In Majavan, also the BJP leading. And in Shishamau, it is the Samajwadi Party. So this is the breakup. It's a 6-3 as far as Samajwadi Party versus the BJP and RLD is concerned.
And which one? Which one are you saying is a close fight? Phulpur is a close fight. Phulpur is a close fight according to JVC. Let me get in the first reaction coming in from Ghanshyam Tiwari. Ghanshyam Tiwari, Phulpur close. If Phulpur, where BJP is expected to get an edge according to JVC here on the panel, then it's 6-3. Otherwise 5-4. You know, but Phulpur is close. It's 5-4 with Phulpur, a little bit of a suspense on that. How do you respond to these numbers?
Good evening, Navika, to you, my fellow co-panelists and the viewers. We'll all be in the Phulpur, F-O-O-L-P-U-R, if we don't comment on the fact that in Uttar Pradesh, all day today, reports came out that the administration did not allow people to vote. It is a shame that Election Commission had to intervene. Parties have been writing, people have been telling the media with proof that how the police administration said that if you vote, we will beat you up. There are pictures of SHO holding gun at people who wanted to vote. This is the Phulpur that BJP wants to see in India, a model of dictatorship where common people are afraid to vote against them. So we will see what the verdict is. I think Election Commission is itself looking like a joke at this point with the images that are coming out of Uttar Pradesh by polls. As far as the Batenge Katenge Yogi Adityanath is concerned and BJP is concerned, whether it is Maharashtra, whether it is Jharkhand or whether it is Uttar Pradesh, the nervousness and hatefulness of their government is visible, and as a result, I believe in the people more than the exit polls and will wait for the verdict to come.
Right, fair point, but yes, there have been a lot of complaints to Heen Sena. These complaints once again raise the question on whether there was any deliberate attempt to stop people from going and voting. And this is an apprehension that has been raised by the Samajwadi Party several times in the last few days and weeks. Please respond to the charges coming in from Ghanshyam Tiwari ji.
Well, every time Samajwadi Party realizes that it is lagging behind, it makes these allegations. But the Election Commission has been extremely fair. They have been extremely prompt in responding to, such allegations. And I'm sure by the end of the day, the Election Commission would have its own observations. I just want to add something about Jharkhand because I had missed it in the earlier, intervention. The record voting percentage that you are witnessing in Jharkhand, I was there on the ground for a few days, and I can tell you for the first time, a party is going to cross the figure of 45 out of 81, which had seemed, which had seemed elusive till now in all elections, in the 6 or 7 elections after the formation of the state. That is the level of anger against the India Alliance partners, and obviously in Jharkhand against JMM in specific.
Right. And in fact, Ghanshyam, let me put out what the Election Commission says. It says that at least in Kanpur, 2 sub-inspectors are suspended. In the Muzaffarnagar, there have been 2 sub-inspectors suspended for non-compliance of the ECI guidelines of voter checking. In Moradabad, we've seen, for instance, how 1 sub-inspector, 2 head constables, 2 lady constables have been removed from poll duty, and 1 particular erring police official has been suspended, and departmental proceedings are to be initiated. Would you still say that the Election Commission has not acted in a fair manner?
Anav, we have a Prime Minister and a Home Minister tom-tomming about one nation, one election. They continuously delayed, afraid of people, common man. They continuously delayed the election. They still haven't done the election in Ayodhya. And in 9 constituencies, Upchunav is happening. A Batenge to Katenge Chief Minister cannot hold an election system safe. What a shame it is. We are in a time where political parties have to
there has been action that has been taken, but one more exit poll coming in, and that is the Matri's exit poll, and the Matri's exit poll also gives the BJP edge as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned. It is 7 versus 2 according to Matri's, which is the next opinion poll on the bypolls in Uttar Pradesh. So whether it is JVC or Matri's, both giving the edge to the BJP rather than the Samajwadi Party. But what's your point?
I would request Times Now with humility, show those visuals of what happened in Kanpur. You may say now that the Election Commission's taken action because social media erupted. Yes. For police officers to point guns, Navika, Smita ji, you all are very senior journalists, to point guns at women voters, sub-inspectors. But what was happening? They actually pointed guns at them and told them to go inside. Was this the administration? You may suspend them. Are these sub-inspectors doing it at their behest, or are they doing it because the administration's asked them? Suspending them because it's come on social media? Imagine what the election is. This how elections in India will be conducted? Election Commission should be embarrassed.
But there was also a statement made that there was a ruckus over there between
the
2 sides.
IDs of the women. Yes. Who's the police to ask? It is the election officials. Please show the face.
So actually,
no, you show a gun. So you ask a woman for an ID. She says, I will not show you. So you'll point a gun at her. Is this how elections will be conducted?
Certainly.
If they are suspended, then what do you expect the election?
And whose behest were they asking and intimidating?
It is unfair.
This is one constituency, and there are many more like that where people have not reported.
Yeah. Where does
I mean, who?
They should be reported. and action should be taken.
People have not reported.
If they have not reported, and if they have not reported, then they should report it and ensure that action is taken.
It's not that now you are letting the. What does this show about administration? Is what we are trying to say. आपने पूरी पुलिस को छोड़ा हुआ है.
Prompt action नहीं लिया.
Prompt action नहीं है.
Mr. Rajgopal, once again, let's also remember that our entire election system is based upon the fact that the basic administration of the state and the districts are the ones who actually carry out the poll. The police perhaps have no role in checking ID cards, but if there is some kind of action like this where they've not followed the rules, Mr. Rajgopalan, what is the way of redressal? Is there any other method? One by one. Is there any other method of redressal, Mr. Rajgopalan?
The Commission has taken prompt action and they have suspended 2 policemen. What else they need? Second thing, sub-inspectors. Second thing, Madhav, UP election stores, JVC and the other matrix show that Yogi safe hai, Akhilesh saaf hai.
UP Z News predictions are now BJP is about 4 to 6 and Samajwadi Party 3 to 5. If you take
because it's that one seat. It's actually what JVC said. It's actually what JVC said. If that one Phulpur seat goes this way, then the 3 becomes 4 and the 6 becomes 5. So it's actually accurate. It's exactly what JVC said a few minutes ago.
In a by-election, I think you will say this. In a by-election, usually it's the ruling party which benefits. But anything above 4, if the BJP gets out of these, because many of them are essentially Samajwadi Party strongholds. So anything above 4 the BJP gets, it's a thumbs up for the Yogi government.
Right,
so Uttar Pradesh poll of polls, we've got three of them coming up on the screen.
Yeah, so Matriz has given the highest yet for the BJP alliance. They've given it at 7. JVC's poll was at 6. Z News has given 5 and the SP at 3, 2 and 4. The average comes out to 6, 3. Pretty much what JVC has said is really the information that we have at this point of time, and this is the very interesting position in Uttar Pradesh. Of course, mind you, it could all change if that one Phulpur seat, as JVC predicted, is a bit dicey. If the BJP has the edge there, if it doesn't quite work out, then this could be the final outcome that we are potentially looking at. But of course, this is as far as the projections are concerned.
6 for the BJP plus NDA, 3 for the Samajwadi Party, and that's the way it's looking in the 9 by-polls in Uttar Pradesh. Will that, and I'm coming to the politics of this, will that bring, the misgivings of how polls were handled during Lok Sabha elections in Uttar Pradesh? Will it bring back that question mark and bring out Yogi's hold over Uttar Pradesh, because that's the political issue there. What do you think?
See, I just feel that even if it is 5-4, it's good for the Yogi government. The other thing which happens is that Akhilesh, I think, strengthens his hold in the India alliance. He's been uncomfortable with the way the Congress has been treating him in the various elections that happened, whether it was in Haryana, whether it was in the Maharashtra polls. He's not got his worth in the India alliance, and I think if he does well out here, he's going to lay the groundwork for him in the next UP elections, where he's going to call the shots as to how many seats he wants.
Which he did even this time around. The Congress was nowhere to be seen.
This will decide between Krishna Menon Marg and in UP where Yogi ji stays, who wins? This is the
out of 9 seats.
Out of 9 seats, because the battle in 2024, or the alleged or the whispers were that a lot of UP candidates are rejected by Krishna Menon Marg. So does Krishna Menon Marg prevail?
You are
or does the UP CM
तुमको
prevail?
इतनी चिंता है कृष्णा मेनन मार्ग की और कालिदास रोड की, तुम चिंता करो कि समाजवादी पार्टी और कांग्रेस का क्या हो रहा है, वो तुम्हें चिंता नहीं है, वो तुम्हें चिंता ही नहीं है. समाजवादी पार्टी
5-4 means it's a very strong thing for the Samajwadi Party, because out of 5, 1 most probably will go to RLD.
Correct.
So if it is 4-4 for Samajwadi Party and the BJP, Samajwadi Party is in a strong
despite administration working.
Despite administration and the central government.
And central government. And money.
Okay, we are going across after Uttar Pradesh straight to numbers and projections from Jharkhand. But let's first look at the numbers that are coming in for Jharkhand, and those numbers coming up on your screen. Region is Kolhan, and Madhav, take us through.
The BJP is at 6 to 9 over here. The JMM alliance at 6 to 9 as well. The two alliances almost neck to neck in this first region. Remember, the total number of seats that we're talking about is 81. Let's look at the next region that we're talking about as far as Jharkhand is concerned. If we can quickly bring that up on our screen. And this is the region we're talking about. It's the North Chota Nagpur region. This is the region, of course, in the center of the state. Over here, the BJP takes a huge lead of about 15 to 16. This is the BJP alliance. The JMM alliance here at 6 to 9. Others at 0 to 1. Now, this is where the BJP has taken a huge lead as far as the state is concerned. Let's bring up the next region that we're talking about in this state of Jharkhand. This is the projection for the South Chota Nagpur region. Over here as well, the BJP ahead of the JMM. It's at 8 to 10 as far as 5 to 7. Now, this is out of a total of 15 seats that are there in this particular region, which is the South Chota Nagpur region. Let's go across to Palamu next, which is the next region that we're talking about. 9 seats in the Palamu region. Of these 9 seats, the JMM again getting only 1 to 3. The BJP plus at 6 to 9 is the information as far as the exit poll is concerned. And this is, of course, the details as far as the Palamu region is concerned. The last region that we're talking about is the Santhal Pargana. 18 seats. Remember that this is a tribal dominated region. 18 seats up for grabs over here. This is the region where JMM clearly has done better than the BJP as far as the exit poll is concerned. 13 to 14 seats here for the JMM. For the BJP and the allies, it's 3 to 4 seats, others at 0. Let's take a look at the statewide figures though as far as this particular exit poll is concerned. If you can quickly pull that up on the screen. Overall, in Jharkhand, this is how the numbers are stacked up. BJP and allies at 40 to 44, JMM between 30 to 40. Of course, the difference between the two is about roughly about 7 to 8 seats. JVC, is that what we're talking about? 70 to 8 seats is the projected difference.
Congress, JMM divide.
I think the divide has been given there.
Yeah. Okay, we'll pull up the divided number, but JVC,
but they're fighting in
you're saying it's a very, very close call, but BJP has the edge.
So BJP has the edge.
81 seats, the BJP needs at least 42.
Correct.
Here, are you saying because the Santhal, the tribal vote, where the Ghuspetia issue came in, where the issue of Katenge, Batenge came in, all of that hasn't worked for the BJP?
It is a very, very localized election at Jharkhand. When I say a very localized election, let me put across a simple campaign methodology of JMM. They said, look at who is leading the campaign. The campaign of BJP is led by Himanta Biswa Sharma. The campaign of BJP is led by Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So, it's not the locals. It's not Babulal Marandi or Arjun Munda who is carrying the entire things on their shoulders. So, what this campaign was, if they come to power, it will be ruled from Delhi or from Assam. But Ranchi, I am here. So, this ad cut some, cord with the voters, number one. Number two, we are also seeing that Jharkhand Mukti Morcha is also giving that beneficiary to the women voters. Now, if it is going to work in one state, obviously it is going to work in another state. But in spite of that, there is a very spirited campaign by BJP, and that is why, and there is an anti-incumbency, and that is why you see BJP edging ahead. But
okay,
I don't think they are going to see.
Okay, so let me get it. Champai Soren ji is joining the debate. Also joining us is Hafizul Hasan Ansari, the Minister of Minority Welfare in Jharkhand. चंपाई सोरेन जी, अभी जो एग्जिट पोल के नंबर आ रहे हैं उसमें बीजेपी को हल्का सा एडवांटेज है, लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा नहीं, ये बहुत क्लोज इलेक्शन है और लोगों का कहना है कि कहीं ना कहीं लोकल फेस, लोकल लीडरशिप का एक एब्सेंस जो है एनडीए को इंपैक्ट कर सकता है. आप कैसे देखते हैं इन चुनावों को?
देखिए, इस चुनाव में हम जो कुलान से लेकर संथाल पर पूरा झारखंड बहुत अच्छा प्रदर्शन हुआ है भाजपा गठबंधन का, कहीं किंतु परंतु नहीं है, बहुत अच्छा.
लेकिन एग्जिट पोल बता रहे हैं संथाल रीजन में ट्राइबल वोट में आपका प्रदर्शन अच्छा नहीं है. आप किस बेसिस पर कह रहे हैं कि वहां अच्छा हुआ है?
हमने खुद अपने प्रचार किया है. आप हर विधानसभा में हम पहुंचे थे और आज भी हम पूरा जानने का काम किया है कि संथाल परगना बहुत अच्छा, जो कभी उस तरह से नहीं हुआ, इस बार हुआ।
चलिए, हफीजुल हसन अंसारी साहब, आप क्या समझते हैं? बहुत नजदीक की टक्कर है, 30 से 40 सीटें जेएमएम प्लस कांग्रेस अलायंस को जा रही हैं, लगभग 40 से 44 सीटें बीजेपी को। आप इन नंबर्स को कैसे देखते हैं?
देखिए, ये तो नंबर आप लोग बनाए हैं, ठीक है ना, जैसे भी सर्वे करके बनाए हैं, लेकिन मेरा जो अनुमान है कि जो पिछला 43 सीट का चुनाव हुआ उसमें 25 से 30 है, और अभी जो आज जो चुनाव हुआ उसमें संथाल परगना में 18 में 16 हो सकता है, 18 में 18 हो जाए, लेकिन 16 तो कन्फर्म है।
चंपई सोरेन जी कह रहे हैं कि उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा किया है संथाल में। चंपई जी, इधर हफीजुल अंसारी साहब तो कह रहे हैं कि 18 में से 18 संथाल रीजन में उनको आएंगी सीटें।
वो गलत है, वो सब गलत आंकड़ा है। हमारा अनुमान है कि संथाल में 18 से 18 हम लोग इंडिया का खाता में आ रहा है।
18 में से 18 आपको भी मिल रही है, 18 में से 18 उधर भी मिल रही है, बाकी इतनी सीटें आएंगी कहां से?
हाल में जो लाल झंडे वाले बैठे हैं आदिवासी, वो तो बीजेपी के साथ कभी नहीं जाएंगे, वो कभी नहीं जाएंगे। वो ट्रेडिशनल कम्युनिस्ट वोट है, वो हमेशा कांग्रेस और जेएमएम की तरफ ही जाएगा।
में क्या हुआ था वो बताओ?
या वो सीपीआईएमएल की तरफ जाएगा।
ओके, आई थिंक वी शुड पुट दैट क्वेश्चन अक्रॉस टू चंपई सोरेन। चंपई सोरेन जी, कहीं ना कहीं क्या आपको लग रहा है कौन सा इशू है जो संथाल परगना और बाकी स्टेट में काम किया है? क्या कहीं ना कहीं इन्फिल्ट्रेटर्स का इशू, घुसपैठियों का इशू कहीं ना कहीं क्या उसका असर हुआ है?
बांग्लादेश से घुसपैठ, आदिवासी का जनसंख्या घट गया, और उस क्षेत्र में महसूस कर दिया कि ये जो वर्तमान सरकार आदिवासी के साथ अन्याय किया है, न्याय नहीं किया है, इसलिए वहां का सारा उस क्षेत्र का आदिवासी मूलवासी भाजपा का पक्ष में अपना मत देने का काम किया है।
लेकिन
वो एकदम
एक करण वर्मा, अगर ये झारखंड में संथल रीजन इज वेयर इट बॉइल्स डाउन टू, संथल रीजन में व्हाई विल द ट्राइबल्स वोट फॉर द बीजेपी व्हेन इट इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड ऑफ द जेएमएम इज द क्वेश्चन दैट विल आंसर ऑल एग्जिट पोल्स।
पिछले 1 साल में नाविका जी 5 बार जनता गई हुई है वहां पुलिस स्टेशन पे, सेइंग दैट दिस इज अ मेनेस, इलीगल इन्फिल्ट्रेटर्स आए हुए, इनके खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिए। 12-year-old girl was stabbed to death, rapes. So this is a problem where the tribals for the first time there are going to consolidate in favor of the BJP, and that is what we are going to see, and that is where I disagree with JVC a bit. I think it's going to be a clear victory for BJP because they are going to gain in the Santhal Pargana region. Vivek ji is going to be proven wrong just as he was proven wrong in Chhattisgarh. वहां पे भी tribals consolidated in favor of BJP. That is what is going to happen.
विवेक श्रीवास्तव,
यहाँ मुश्किल है इनका जो ये कह रहे हैं, क्योंकि this has been a traditional लाल झंडा camp of the Adivasis and the workers, और वो कभी भी पूंजीवादी व्यवस्था को वोट नहीं देते हैं। और
छत्तीसगढ़ में दिया था,
छत्तीसगढ़ ओडिशा में दिया है,
छत्तीसगढ़ अगेन,
देन ओडिशा फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम हैज गॉन द बीजेपी's way. What makes you rule out Jharkhand and the Santhal?
Law and order is going to make them vote for BJP.
And Bihar both have a very strong communist vote bank of the trade unionists and the workers and farmers. बिहार में भी 16 एमएलए आए थे, और यहां पर भी सीपीआईएमएल और अन्य पार्टियां जबरदस्त तरीके से लड़ रही हैं। डोंट अंडर एस्टिमेट,
लड़ रही हैं, लड़ने में जीतते नहीं।
उनको लालू प्रसाद यादव और बाकी जो बड़े नेता हैं इंडिया अलायंस के, they accommodated the लाल झंडा वालाज over here because they know these
Let me ask Mr. Rajagopalan. Mr. Rajagopalan, Hemant Soren's arrest, is that even an issue in this election?
That has not come out so far in the voting pattern. Apart from that,
you think there's going to be no sympathy?
I don't think. Lekin Champai Soren is right. In Parganas, is Santhal area, what Karan said is, I also heard from Mr. C.P. Radhakrishnan, Governor of Jharkhand, there is a Tamil connection between Maharashtra and Jharkhand. C.P. Radhakrishnan was governor in Jharkhand, now in Maharashtra, and he has been, I should not quote that, but still he says.
But you have just quoted him.
I quoted it.
So when I'm in parliament, I won't tell any
that connection, Tamil connection is strong in both the states. He was of the opinion
but
that
what is that connection to do it?
That is his source, bhai. Okay.
Right. Santhal, the Parganas, they are going to have a sweep for BJP.
All right, the next opinion poll, Metrai's opinion poll for Jharkhand coming up on the screen. 44 to 53, 44 to 53 for the NDA, 25 to 30 for the India Alliance, that is JMM, Congress, Lalu Prasad Yadav, RJD and the others, 1 to 4 to the others. That is the latest. This gives a clear majority to the NDA. Now People's Pulse is another agency which gives 42 to 48 to the BJP and NDA. JMM and Congress get about 16 to 23 in this. Congress 8 to 14, so we'll have to add that. 16 to 23 and 8 to 14, but BJP 42 to 48, that means it's a majority. So 3 polls giving the majority to the NDA alliance. Tehseen Poonawalla, your reaction?
No, I do think that if the areas that they're talking about go to BJP way, then it's going to be a sweep for the BJP. So that I do. So this is going to be either a complete sweep for the BJP or it's going to be the JMM Congress. But I'm very interested in knowing JVC's number. What are you giving the Congress in your 40?
Congress is not performing exceedingly well.
Okay.
Even RJD is performing well because seat-wise, you know,
but the distribution has worked because they've accommodated everybody.
Yeah, RJD is actually working well for the alliance.
And they accommodated the left as well.
2 seats.
Yeah, CPM.
Just few
yeah,
seats.
so those 4 seats, but they're winning.
Yes,
but
so
those are traditional.
What has happened is that though the RJD has contested fewer seats, Tejasvi has really campaigned a lot. The other MVA contests, those who are contesting from the MVA umbrella, they have been doing that. The Congress is the largest number as far as contesting
after JMM.
But Rahul Gandhi, after JMM, but Rahul Gandhi has only campaigned in the Congress areas, whereas the JMM has campaigned in the other constituent areas. They've been available wherever they wanted. Soren's campaigned everywhere. The left parties campaigned everywhere. Whereas the Gandhis campaigned, or Rahul Gandhi, Kharge, they all went only to the Congress candidate.
You know, the way I'm looking at these exit polls that have come so far, the poll of polls for Uttar Pradesh gives the advantage to the NDA, that is BJP plus. As far as Jharkhand is concerned, all 3 polls loaded in favor of the BJP and the NDA. Tuhin Sinha, I can see you smiling year to year. Polls are known to be wrong. Abhi se mat smile karo.
Nene, like I mentioned even before the polls were out, I have been saying 45 plus is the minimum which BJP-led alliance is going to get this time. And there are 2 or 3 reasons for that. You know, the whole angst, the whole anger against illegal migration, mind you, is not restricted to Santhal Parganas area. It percolates down to almost every district, including the cities of Ranchi and Jamshedpur. So that is a much bigger issue than what probably the media has factored in till now. Number 2, the state of unemployment, the state of corruption which the JMM has indulged in. I think the Jharkhand is going to witness one of the strongest anti-incumbency votes this time. And like I said, in the state, one has to be very lucky to cross 45. That it has not happened in the last 24 years since the formation of the state, but it is going to happen for the first time, and that's my observation.
Okay, let's take a look at the poll numbers for Jharkhand.
Well, absolutely. And in fact, Navika, as you were reading out earlier, it's pretty much all in the same line. Of course, all these polls could very well be wrong, but at the moment, what's being projected as far as JVC poll is concerned, 40 to 44 over there for the BJP. Matri is saying 44 to 53 for the BJP. Slightly higher numbers there. And People's Pulse also exactly the same numbers, 44 to 53. Chanakya Strategies gives it 45 to 50. That's, of course, an average of 43 to 50 as far as the BJP is concerned. For the JMM Alliance, it's at 30 to 40 from the JVC poll, 25 to 30 from the Matri's poll. People's Pulse at 25.37, 25 to 37, I beg your pardon, 35 to 38 as far as Chanakya Strategies is concerned, an average over here of 29 to 36, and of course others between 2 to 5. Will these others play an important role if there is a much closer election here? That's an open question.
Well, others will go towards whichever side has the edge, and that's normally the thumb rule that applies. But as Diol on the show, on this broadcast with with us. And Mr. Deol, सवाल ये है कि इस वक्त 4 ऐसे पोल्स हैं और चारों पोल्स जो हैं वो एनडीए को बिल्कुल सरकार बनवा रहे हैं, जेएमएम और कांग्रेस पीछे चल रहे हैं. आप क्या कहेंगे इन नंबर्स के बारे में?
Thank you, Navika. I'll just say that just change the column. That's all. It's so very simple. You just named it wrong. The first poll, the first column belongs to JMM and the India coalition. And I don't know where you got these figures. You have to be actually on the ground. And the anger, I heard my friends saying that the people have come out in large numbers to vote. So I'll just remind you, in 2021, in West Bengal, the voting percentage went to 81. And what did it lead to? It was just basically consolidating the anti-NDA, anti-Modi, anti-BJP votes. They wanted to keep them out. So I think it's a similar situation in Jharkhand today. I know Champaida very well. I've worked with him. But he's a very simple man. And in his simpleness and humility, he just said that all the CMs have worked not for the benefit of the tribals, and they have actually, what do you say?
Simplicity definitely does not win votes. What wins votes is what parties have to offer. Will corruption be an issue? Will illegal immigrants be an issue? Well, the BJP is played on that pitch. At the moment, these poll of polls are showing it's paying for the BJP, and Jharkhand more tilted towards an NDA majority than the India alliance. And if that works true, then well, Haryana repeated in Jharkhand will definitely set the BJP's rate in the stock market a little upwards. But the big आपको स्टॉक मार्केट से क्या दिक्कत है? आपको हरियाणा से दिक्कत है? अभी तक हरियाणा का दर्द होता है.
तो है ही. अब आप ये मत बोलिए हरियाणा हो जाएगा.
दुखती रह गया आपकी. हरियाणा का दर्द अब तक हो रहा है. विवेक श्रीवास्तव जी, आपके लिए पेन किलर मंगवाते हैं, दवाई मंगवाते हैं, लेकिन
अभी स्मिता ने जलेबी खिलाया सबको.
If this is the number that is that they're showing for the BJP, it's a marked improvement from the 2019 numbers. They had 25 or something in the last.
Yes.
So if this is the number, then it's a marked improvement. And for the JMM to come to this level, clearly the arrest and all that, there's no sympathy factor.
Absolutely not. Clearly, what the Janta is looking for is who's going to work for them. And if these are the numbers, then the vote clearly going the BJP's